Hey you guys, it's Jordan here, and today I just wanted to make a quick video about, studying. I did that yesterday, but I wasn't exactly as specific as I wanted to be. I literally like just woke up and I read a couple comments from you guys, and I just wanted to make this video to kind of elaborate on like how I study and what kind of counts as studying. So first I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this window from a tweet that I saw yesterday from Feng Zhu. And now, if you don't know who Feng Zhu is, he's basically a concept artist that I really look up to. Like I said, I was gonna go to his school. That's why it's called FZD school. It's Feng Zhu Design. So here's a chart, right? That he literally posted this on Twitter like right after I posted my video yesterday, almost. And basically what this is how many hours a day you study, how many hours a month you would get from studying that many hours a day, and how many hours a year you would be getting by studying this many hours a month. So this is basically exactly what I was talking about. And what this is like the amount of years that it would take you to reach being like junior level. And what is junior level? Basically, it's like having a little bit of industry experience, but like not a lot. You've done a couple of projects for a couple of big companies and stuff like that, and your name's kind of getting out there. Whereas like if you're a senior artist, you'd probably be getting art left and right. I think that's how he described it. I'm not necessarily saying like these are, the only variables for what makes you reach junior or senior level, quote. But anyways, basically, or pro level, I guess. But basically, I'm kind of in that 3 to 5 hour mark. So studying that many hours a day would get me between 60 and 150 hours a month, which is between 720 and 1800 hours a year. Which means that it's gonna take me about from anywhere from 7 to 2.5, almost, or 2.8 years to reach that junior level. Which is why I kind of pushed myself for at least, like I said in my last video, kind of pushed myself for at least 5 hours a day, right? Because no one wants to sit here for 7 years, just kind of just then be getting into it. And the reason why once people hit junior level, they kind of skyrocket is because once you're working in the industry, you're actually working like about 8 to 12 hours a day on drawing and stuff like that, which it quite literally accelerates or almost triples and doubles, maybe even quadruples in some case, how many hours a day you're getting to study. Because the reality of the situation is that the only way that you could study 8 hours a day and make a living for yourself is like having a part-time job and having a roommate, basically. I mean, you could with a full-time job, but you'd have to be super fucking dedicated. Like think about it. There's 24 hours in a day, right? You have 8 hours for work, probably an hour to 2 hours of commute to get to work and back, right? So that's already 10 hours out of your day. And then if you add another 8 hours onto that, that's 18 hours. So that leaves you with 6 hours to do whatever you want with the rest of the day, including going to sleep for the next one. So you would essentially have to be insanely disciplined, dedicated. But the good thing about that is like you don't have to be 8 hours every day. You know what I mean? You can be doing 6 or 7 or maybe like 5. It's just about the same. Now, if you go to school, if you're in school, this is kind of why school is. People say you don't have to go to school, which is true, but to some degree, like school is kind of what pays for you to be able to spend that kind of time, right? If you're in school, right, and you have all these art classes and you're doing all these projects, right? It's gonna be easy for you to spend just about 8 hours a day on homework and stuff like that. And the best part about it kind of is that you don't have to worry about work. So in about one and a half or almost 2 years, you're basically, I mean, considering like that you're really effective with your time and stuff like that, you might be, junior level in about, almost 2 years. So yeah, and I just started the whole 2 hours a day thing. Like before that, it was probably between 1 and 2 hours, because on average, because there's some days that I, study my ass off, and then there's other days that like I'd take a break. I'd take like a 5, 6, 7 day break after studying for a really long time. So that's why I kind of started using my calendar, because I want to be able to like actively see like how many hours am I getting per month, and be able to add it up at the end of the day. So that, yeah, that's, so I kind of started this thing in August 2020. So by next year, we'll be able to see how many hours of studying that I've gotten in, minimum, I guess you would say, because it take a lot of energy for me to go and check and see how many hours or whatever. But now I'm going to talk about, because I could literally, and apparently like it takes approximately like 5,000 hours of practice and study to reach this level, and even more to reach pro level. It's basically just the 10,000 hour rule. So yeah, you can see like 12 hours, you're talking the one in like not even 1.5 years, because you just like, if this person is spending 12 hours, this is an industry professional, right? And then like, this is some guy that's like, this range is some guy that's like working a full-time job, and like he really wants to be, a professional artist, but he doesn't have that time. So like every day, this guy is 12 days ahead. You know what I mean? Every day for this guy is 6 days ahead. Every day for this guy's 2.5 days ahead. You see? So like, it's really easy for like, by the end of a year, this guy and this guy are 12 years different. There's a 12-year gap between this person right here and this person right here. Why? Because this guy has spent 12 hours more than this guy every day, or 11 hours every day. So essentially, they're 11 years difference. You see what I mean? So like, that's basically what that meant. Now, what is studying? Studying is basically just anything. It can be anything regarding whatever you want to study. For example, if I wanted to, on my Pinterest, I tend to study a little bit of everything here and there. Sometimes I feel nature, sometimes I feel robots. I've never really got too much into guns, but I still have a page just in case. Like I have, my page for all the weapons I could possibly ever need for reference. So yeah, if I wanted to be like a professional weapon prop designer or something like that, I think that's how you would describe that. What would I spend my time doing to study? Studying guns. That's studying for me. That would be studying for me. Studying how guns work, studying the functionality of guns, studying how bullets work, how stocks help with recoil and muzzle brakes and stuff like that. Learning every aspect of the gun that I can, so any design that I come out with is coming from an educated point of understanding, or an educated perspective. I would say that, right? If you're someone who likes to draw ships, study ships. Like look at how helicopters work, and how can you incorporate that into a fantasy setting? How would that make sense? So all that is just studying a whole bunch of vehicle design, looking at real life cars and studying like, why is the engine in the front instead of the back? And why is there 4 wheels? How come the wheels aren't squares and they're circles? How come the wheels have that specific pattern on them? And in my case, I like to study a lot of armor design. So as you can see, I have armor design 1, 2, light armor design, robot armor. And that's just studying for me. So, and this isn't all I do to study, right? This is kind of like a sub part of it. It's kind of like gathering inspiration. Because when you're doing a drawing, you always want to have something that's inspiring you to do it. You should look at whatever you're trying to study. Like, for example, if you want to be a character artist, look at a whole bunch of cool, badass character designs. And through that will inspire you to like be like, man, like, dude, that, like, if you look at one guy that uses lightning, and then another guy who uses, I don't know, like a hammer or something for an RPG or something. Like, how can you mix the two? And some ways are obvious, some aren't. Like, okay, you can give him a thunder cloak and a hammer that, I don't know, like, absorbs the thunder, or absorbs elements from the nearest element. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? You can come up with all kinds of shit, and there's like quite literally unlimited ways to express this. You know, that's the best thing about art. It's just like anything that you do regarding it, whatever you want to study, is basically studying. You don't even have to be actively drawing to study. I remember seeing a chart that was like, I wonder if I can find it. Let me see. Oh, yes, thank God I fucking found it first try. Easy clap. Okay. God, this video is so fun too. I really like talking about stuff like this. So here's another chart, right? I don't know exactly the specifics of this one, but here it is. So this is the blue line represents your skill at making art. This is your skill. The pink line represents your skill at evaluating art, which means like paying attention to details, how things are made, etc. There's gonna be times where like your skill at making art is progressing quicker than your skill at evaluating art, and there's gonna be times where it's the other way around. But it's all about this time in between, knowing that, okay, like I might not be progressing at making better lines and everything, but at that time I might be, and you have to be conscious about it too. You know, you don't want to get caught in that cycle where you don't really know what's going on in your head. You always want to kind of be conscious about what you're trying to study, and conscious about what you're trying to do with that studying, where you're trying to go with that studying. So like, while I feel like I'm not really getting better, I might be, if I feel like that, I might be at this point in that chart. And obviously there's a lot of variables, right? There isn't just two lines, you know. There could be how motivated you are that day, how inspired you are that day, how bad you feel that day, because we can both agree that like your mood and how you're feeling that day has a lot to do with how efficiently you can study. And it's something that's really hard to practice, you know, because no one wants to have a really shitty day and then turn around and like force themselves to do something else. It's just really not healthy, but sometimes it has to happen. I wouldn't recommend doing that like every day. I definitely find myself in that situation where everything like in a day can be really shitty and like you're super irritated. Trust me, you know, and it's just being able to get joy and happiness out of studying. You know, that's the biggest thing, because even though you kind of push through not wanting to study, wanting to play a game instead, at the end of the day you can put that X on your calendar and say, God damn it, I got those hours in today. And that's all that really matters, and that will make you happy, especially if you have a streak going. You don't want to lose that streak. Like I said, I lost a 9-day streak because one day I decided to only draw for an hour and got pulled into League of Legends for a whole day. So not only did I go on a losing streak on League of Legends and I was super fucking tilted, but I got out of, you know, I got myself out of studying, which made me feel even shittier. And then those everyday situations you have to deal with makes your day even shittier. Like, it's just, you have to be really, really, really conscious about it. And the more often that you do study, the more that you have that habit, the more kind of guilty you'll feel for not studying. So the best thing that I think that you can do regarding that is to have those days that you take a break, you take a real break. And it's hard to take those breaks. I am so serious. I've never thought in my life that I would ever say that, you know, that it would be hard for me to take a break from studying, because I've never studied for anything in my whole life as much as I have now. You know, all 18 years of my school, I have not studied this much ever in my life. 2 hours minimum a day. I'm not, like, I shit you not. I graduated from school with like a 1.2 GPA. I got into college, and then that basically went up to a 4.0 because I was studying for my art, you know, and it's something that I actually really cared about. So yeah, I'll have this chart. I'll have a link to this chart somewhere. I'm pretty sure someone's posted this on Twitter. So I'll have a link to this, or actually I could just leave it here, and you can. It's basically look up artist growth chart. That's all I looked up. I remember seeing this specifically. So yeah, some of these things that I've said might come off as obvious, and sometimes, you know, you'll ask the question like, what is studying? And then you hear the answer and you're like, oh, well, yeah, no shit, you know, like it's kind of like that, you know. It's all about being conscious about it. Knowing that you might be lacking in some areas is the best thing ever. For me personally, it's being able to draw the upper body no problem, and then struggling to draw the middle to lower body. But what have I been doing lately? Making myself look like a fucking fool by trying to do the legs and the, you know, the pelvis area as far as armor design, and trying to figure out like, okay, how do I have to get past that, you know? By the end of this month, I want to have a better understanding than I do now. By tomorrow, I want to have a better understanding than I do now. How do I do that? Just draw a shit ton of legs, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So yeah, this is basically one of my pages for armor design. If you guys want to follow me on Pinterest, it's just Tyrell's. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get into like all kinds of stuff as far as studying, and I'm so glad. I just want to say thank you to Robbie for asking that question, because it, you know, ever since I woke up, like I woke up and I looked at my phone and I saw that comment and I was like, yeah, I gotta make a video about that. And I'm pretty sure I've made a video about it in the past, but I really think that this one is a little bit more helpful in terms of understanding what can actually count as studying. So this is basically what I do. You know, I look up robot designs. I look at like all these different helmet designs, and I just try to make something that I haven't seen on this board yet. You know, which might sound hard to some people, but like it's really not. Like you can literally just it's like, well, it's not for me. I don't want to go saying like it's not hard, you suck. You know, it is challenging, you know. But so far so good, you know, and I like always being able to see like specific shapes. Like this one is a circular based helmet, so like you could start drawing this with like a cylinder, you know, you break it down to the basic shape. This one you could start with a rectangle, and vice versa, like, yeah, rectangle. So yeah, this is basically the first part of like how I study. I basically just have my mood boards, not mood boards, but inspiration boards. I recently found someone on Twitter too. So like, following, let me see if I can find, I think it's this guy. No, it's not this guy. I like to follow a lot of, I think it's this guy. I think it's this one. I like to find a lot of developing artists because I see a lot of myself in that, you know, because I mean, I am a developing artist. What am I talking about? But I think on this chart, honestly, I think my skill at evaluating art, I think I'm around this area right now. If I were to say like I'm anywhere on this chart, I'd say this is about where I'm at. Where my skill at seeing and evaluating things is way higher than my skill at making them. Which in turn, you know, obviously, you know, they kind of benefit each other. So yeah, I'm at that kind of point like, oh, I can't draw anymore. Like that's how it kind of feels, you know, because I've been studying so much in my sketchbooks. So yeah, some of you guys might be like right here, some of you guys might be right here, maybe like right here. Especially, this is a big, or not right here, but like right here. And it's not like, this isn't like saying that right here is you're like a professional god artist. No, like it's just basically saying like the chart just keeps going like that. It just keeps going. It doesn't say like this is just going up with ability and up with time. Over time, you're gonna be better at anything. So studying can literally be perceived as just spending time doing something that you know you kind of want to look into. I'm trying to find this artist because this guy's stuff was so crazy when I first saw it, and I really want to show you guys what I saw. I think it's this guy. No, it's not this guy. His stuff looks cool too though. I think maybe it's this guy. No, it's not this guy. Shits, man. Is it Inkwell? No, it's not. Maybe it was this guy. No. Okay, this is wait, maybe it was Blue. No, it wasn't Blue Fly. Dude, where is this guy? I think it's this guy. Alright, so yeah, this guy is crazy as hell. Like, this is another thing, right? if you want to get like better at characters specifically, spend more time doing things like this, right? Like looking at the face structure, break every single aspect of the characters down, rotate them. Like that is gonna be super hard on its own, and that's something that I've been trying to get myself to do more often. This guy's name is Shafiq Cromwell. So I mean, I don't know if you guys can, but yeah, basically, like, look at this shit. Like, dude's insane. So, and another thing is going to ArtStation and finding some artists that really inspire you. I really like Sparth. Like, this guy is my fucking hero. I really like just how, like, look at this, like, a boat ship. Like, how do you come up with that? You know, like, I don't know. It's just, a lot of his art is just fucking crazy to me. And, it's really inspiring looking at it. It's like, man, like, someday, you know, you guys will, trust me, one day I'm gonna be at this level, goddammit. And, I'm not necessarily level, but hopefully, like, I'll have my own style of these kind of things. But this is basically, like, you find out what you like, and you just try to find, like, this guy's got his own like universe going. You know, he's got his own characters, and like, look at this. Like, look at this. Like, come on, man. Like, that's sick to me, man. Like, this, I love shit like this. You know, it's just like, these things make me genuinely happy. I get happy looking at things like this. Like, alright, I'm not saying I get happy looking at empty, fucked up grocery stores, okay? But like, it's just being able to express some things, you know? It's just it's so fucking good, man. Like one day, dude, I want to be doing stuff like this. You know, just drawing like characters and having them interact with environments and stuff like that. Like, coming up with my ideas for things and just... But these are guys that like really, really, really inspire me. And finding those people is just as important as studying, because at least you have a direction that you're trying to get in. And if that person is able to draw something in a short amount of time, it's because they've worked their ass off to get to that point. Don't expect to get the same results just because you study under that person for an hour or two, or maybe even 30. You know, it's all about just pushing yourself to study. Like, a lot of you guys, this is a really nice one too. Like, I really like this style as well. But like a lot of you guys probably, you know, a couple of you guys, or maybe a lot, study more hours than I do a day. You know what I mean? So going back to this chart, you know, if you're studying more than 2 hours a day, or I guess I should say 3 on average, but like, if you're studying more than 3 hours a day, you're ahead of me. And at that, like, after the course of a year, we're talking like the hour difference is quite literally a whole fucking year, you know. And that's why, like, if you show your, like, if you know someone that's studying an hour a day and they want to reach a certain level, I recommend showing them this chart. And if they like really want to be at that level, this will scare the fucking hell out of anybody that really wants to pursue something, because it makes sense, and it's on the chart. You know what I mean? It's like that's how life is, you know. And this legitimately scares the fuck out of me, you know. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope that I was able to explain this a little better. Before I go though, I want to show one more artist that really inspires me, and I think I've posted some of my sketches on here, but I haven't really been keeping up on them. Every now and then I post my sketches. I like to break down every little thing. I want to find a way to keep the cross-hatching in my sketches without them looking all weird. I gotta find out how to do that, because I really... And I just made a new, like, brush. I think that was really cool. Like, I made a new brush, and it's so good, man. Like, it's like almost like a texture brush, but it's not at the same time. Like, it gives like that another layer. Jessica, I love Jessica's art so much. Jessica, I look up to her so much, man. Like, she's just, I don't know. I wish she made videos, you know, like some artists, I just really wish like I could get to know that person more. And that's kind of like why I'm starting this early, making videos and stuff like that, because it's just, oh, this is another artist that oh man, I fucking love this guy, man. Like look at this dude. Look, he made a magazine cover for jousting, I think, and like they have mech armor, and like roll it like it's like a fucking sport, and like they had this. Oh my god, dude, I'm not, dude. Like, it almost brings tears to my eyes. Like no troll. I swear to God, this shit like it hits me in a different way. Like it's like I could stop at every single one of these artists and just explain why I fucking love what they do. And it's like, god damn it, man. I'm trying to find this guy. He's always hiding in this page. But yeah, like I said, I really hope that this helps some of you guys that had that question. And like I said, that's how seriously I take this. Like, I read that comment not even an hour ago. I woke up, washed the dishes, brushed my teeth, fucking hopped on the computer, made that video ASAP. Why? Because I was literally like, I can contain the excitement of being able to explain, you know, some of these things. And who knows, you know, one day my way of studying might change and I might make a whole nother video. But for the most part, it's basically the same. It's really the same. I can't find this artist, man. Most of the time these videos though, you don't really have to watch. I guess this is one of those videos you kind of have to actually like watch. And I'm sorry for the longer video, and if I'm spamming you guys, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna use for the thumbnail. Oh, I'm gonna use the chart. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use the chart. Oh, there he is. QTO. This guy inspires the living, like, I'm gonna stop, dude. I've never met, like whenever I talk to people about stuff like this, like, it's just his style, man. Like, his style of just rendering and like, look at this, man. Look at how long it's taken to load. Like, look at that, dude. I don't know, like, listen, I like the day that I like, man, dude, oh my god, oh, this guy is just crazy, man. I don't really know what else to say. Another thing that inspires me a lot is the Long Dark. Their concept art I really like. I really like the pasty, like, painted, simplified but detailed, like that kind of stuff. Like, it's just, that really brings my fucking soul out of my body. Like, I don't know any other way to explain it. And as you guys can see, like, I have a lot of another thing I'd recommend is to just put a lot of things that concern you and growing with your art. Like, this is for me to do quick poses. Basically, you can set a time that you have per thing. Here I have New Masters Academy, so I can look at their courses that they have, and like, here I have Udemy, so I can look at the courses I have here. Pinterest, YouTube, Art Cafe, that's a podcast. You know, just things that inspire you. I hope this video wasn't too long. And I hope that I was able to help you guys, even in the slightest. You know, just keep doing what you do. Eventually, one day, we'll both be professionals. You know, and I hope that, you know, you guys are able to find your ways of studying, and just know that you'll get there eventually. Just, you know, just stay on the bus. Stay on the fucking bus. Don't let anyone discourage you, man. Like, I know, like, when it comes to explaining, like, studying and stuff like that to parents, they literally just, some people just don't understand, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. Like, just keep doing what you do, like, because you're the person that has to live your life. You're the person who has to live that through, you know. Imagine, like, as an artist, could you imagine becoming a fucking lawyer and never drawing again? Like, could you imagine that? And like, that's what, like, most parents, like, be a doctor, be this, be that. But like, in reality, you're the person that has to live through that. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna be fucking happy. Like, spending 8 hours a day doing one thing and then only like a couple hours a day being able to do what you want to do while trying to manage everything else, dude, you're gonna be like super tilted by the time you're like 30, maybe even like 25, man. Like, just do what makes you happy. Don't let the bullshit get in the way. And if surround yourself with people who encourage you to do, you know, what you need to be doing, which is pretty hard, but I'd recommend Discord. I've met a lot of people that I love to spend time around through there. And hell, even start yourself a little community, you know, because making videos legitimately makes me happy. And being able to interact with you guys makes me happy. And I hope I'm able to make you guys happy too. All right, keep your chins up, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.